Life is not always fair. Hard work is not always rewarded. Loyalty is not always returned. The most honest person does not always win. The most capable person does not always get promoted. The person who follows every rule does not always receive the best outcome. That is reality. But the problem is not that unfairness exists. The problem begins when you expect fairness to arrive before you are willing to act. Many people were taught a comforting formula: work hard, stay loyal, do the right thing, wait patiently. Eventually, life will reward you. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. And when reality breaks that expectation, people become bitter, passive, and obsessed with what should have happened. Machiavelli did not study the world as it should be. He studied the world as it was. He watched how power, incentives, fear, perception, timing, and relationships shaped outcomes. His lesson was not that ethics are useless. His lesson was that ethics alone do not protect you from people who understand the game better than you do. Fairness is a principle. It is not a promise. That distinction matters. Accepting this does not mean tolerating abuse, corruption, discrimination, or exploitation. It means you stop waiting for justice to appear automatically. You document, you build leverage, you create options, you choose allies, you protect your work, you respond with strategy. In this video, you will learn why expecting fairness can make you passive, why complaining without action weakens you, and how to build strength without becoming cruel, bitter, or naive. Because the goal is not to become heartless. The goal is to become harder to exploit. Fairness is a principle, not a promise. Fairness is valuable. It creates trust. It strengthens institutions. It protects relationships. It gives people a standard to measure behavior against. But fairness becomes dangerous when you confuse it with a guarantee. The world does not automatically reward effort. People make decisions. And people are influenced by bias, incentives, fear, status, relationships, timing, and self-interest. A manager may reward visibility instead of contribution. A company may protect revenue instead of loyalty. A friend may choose convenience over principle. A partner may take your patience for granted. This does not mean everyone is dishonest. It means outcomes are shaped by more than what you deserve. When you depend on fairness, you place too much power outside yourself. You wait for someone to notice. You wait for someone to appreciate you. You wait for someone to admit they were wrong. You wait for the system to correct itself. And while you wait, other people move. They build stronger relationships. They make their work visible. They learn how decisions are made. They create alternatives. They stop depending on one person's approval. That is the first strategic shift. Do not ask only, was this fair? Ask, what influenced this outcome? Who had leverage? What was rewarded? What was ignored? What can I control next time? Imagine two employees. Both work hard. One believes good work should speak for itself. The other documents results, communicates impact, builds relationships, understands what leadership values, and makes his contribution visible. The first employee may be equally capable, but capability that nobody can see is easy to overlook. That is not always fair, but it is useful information. The weak response is to believe effort should automatically create recognition. The strategic response is to make value visible, useful, and difficult to replace. Fairness asks what should happen. Strategy studies what actually happened. You need both. Principles tell you what is right. Strategy helps you act when reality fails to honor those principles. Complaining without action makes you smaller. Complaining can be useful. It can expose abuse. It can document a violation. It can create accountability. It can bring attention to a broken system. But complaint without action becomes a trap. You repeat what happened. You explain why it was unfair. You collect agreement. You feel temporary relief. Then nothing changes. The story becomes familiar, and eventually, the unfair event stops being something that happened to you. It becomes the identity you speak from. That is the danger. A complaint should lead somewhere, toward evidence, a boundary, a decision, a report, a negotiation, an exit, a new skill, a stronger position. Without movement, complaint becomes emotional maintenance. You keep the wound alive without changing the condition that caused it. A strategic person does not deny anger, he converts it. Anger becomes information, disappointment becomes adjustment, betrayal becomes a boundary, being overlooked becomes a lesson in visibility. Being underpaid becomes a reason to measure market value, improve negotiation, or create another option. This does not mean every unfair situation is your fault. Sometimes the system is broken. Sometimes powerful people abuse their position. Sometimes bias is real. Sometimes exploitation is intentional. But even when the unfairness is not your fault, your next move still belongs to you. Ask, what can I document? Who needs to know? What result would improve my position? What boundary must change? What option am I failing to build? Complaint says, look what they did to me. Response says, here is what I will do next. The first may be emotionally honest. The second changes your position. Pain deserves acknowledgement, but pain alone does not create leverage. Action does. Entitlement is not power. Entitlement sounds reasonable because it often begins with effort. I worked hard, so I should win. I stayed loyal, so they should protect me. I followed the rules, so I should receive the opportunity. I am a good person, so life should treat me well. These expectations are understandable, but they are not power. Entitlement depends on someone else agreeing that you deserve more. Competence is different. The world does not reward effort alone. It rewards useful value, timing, relationships, visibility, scarcity, execution, and trust. You can work extremely hard in the wrong direction. You can stay loyal to people who do not value loyalty. You can follow rules inside a system that rewards something else. This is not an argument for dishonesty. It is an argument for awareness. Machiavelli understood that power based only on goodwill is fragile. If your progress depends entirely on someone recognizing what you deserve, your position is weak. A stronger position is built through ability, evidence, reputation, and alternatives. The entitled person says, they should see my worth. The competent person asks, how clearly is my worth demonstrated? That question is uncomfortable. Good. Useful questions often are. Some people are underpaid because the market is unfair. Some are underpaid because their contribution is invisible. Sometimes both are true. The answer is not self-blame. The answer is diagnosis. Ask, what can I document? Who needs to know? What result would improve my position? What boundary must change? What option am I failing to build? Entitlement waits for recognition. Competence creates reasons for recognition. And when recognition still does not come, competence gives you the option to leave. That is real power, not being praised, having choices. Human nature is more complex than your expectations. People are not purely selfish. They are not purely noble either. They can be generous and afraid, loyal and ambitious, kind and insecure, honest until honesty becomes expensive, supportive until your growth threatens their identity. This is not cynicism, it is realism. Machiavelli paid attention to human behavior because intentions are not enough. Patterns matter, incentives matter, pressure matters. People often move toward reward and away from pain. They protect status, they seek belonging, they avoid shame, they defend identity. They respond to fear, trust, meaning, reciprocity, and self-interest. A strategist does not hate people for this. He accounts for it. That means he does not trust words alone. He watches behavior over time. He notices what changes when incentives change. He pays attention to what people do when loyalty becomes costly. He does not confuse charm with character. He does not confuse one good moment with a reliable pattern. This makes disappointment less personal. Instead of asking, how could they do this? You begin asking, what pressure, incentive, or fear made this behavior likely? That question does not excuse wrongdoing. It explains it. And explanation helps you protect yourself better than shock. Trust should not be blind. It should be earned through consistency. Loyalty should not be assumed. It should be tested by cost. Character is easiest to claim when nothing is at risk. Pressure reveals what words conceal. The strategic mind studies patterns, not because it wants to manipulate people, because it refuses to be surprised by the same behavior again and again. Moral outrage is not strategy. Being angry does not make you effective. Being right does not guarantee a good outcome. And moral certainty does not replace timing. Something unfair happens. Someone takes credit. Someone lies. Someone disrespects you. Someone violates an agreement. Your anger may be justified. But justified anger can still create a foolish response. That is the distinction most people miss. Reaction serves emotion. Response serves outcome. Reaction wants immediate relief. Response asks what move improves your position. Imagine a coworker presents your idea as his own. You could interrupt aggressively. You could expose your anger. You could make the room uncomfortable. You may even be right. But the way you respond determines whether the truth becomes visible or whether your emotion becomes the main story. A strategic response looks different. You remain calm. You present evidence. You reference dates, documents, and prior communication. You reclaim ownership clearly. You speak to the right decision makers. You change the process so the theft becomes harder to repeat. One response releases emotion. The other changes the battlefield. This does not mean silence is always strength. Sometimes you must confront. Sometimes you must report. Sometimes you must leave. Sometimes public resistance is necessary. But action should serve the objective, not only the emotion of the moment. Ask, what outcome do I want? What evidence supports me? Who needs to be involved? What timing gives me the strongest position? What action prevents this from happening again? If your anger has no strategy, it becomes noise. If your anger produces clarity, evidence, boundaries, and action, it becomes useful. The goal is not to suppress emotion, it is to stop giving emotion command authority. Build internal standards or become dependent on recognition. If your discipline depends on praise, your discipline belongs to other people. If your confidence depends on being noticed, your confidence is unstable. If your motivation disappears when nobody applauds, you are building for recognition, not mastery. This is why fairness expectations can become dangerous. You begin measuring yourself through other people's reactions. Did the boss notice? Did the audience approve? Did the friend appreciate me? Did the world admit I was right? But external recognition is unpredictable. People are distracted, biased, busy, threatened. Sometimes they simply do not understand your value. If recognition becomes your fuel, neglect becomes your weakness. Internal standards create stability. They give you measures you can control. Did you keep your word? Did you improve your skill? Did you communicate clearly? Did you protect your focus? Did you act according to your values? Did you produce the result? Did you respond with discipline? These questions do not depend on applause. They depend on you. An internal standard does not mean ignoring feedback. Feedback is useful. Recognition can matter. Reputation has value. But none of them should be the foundation of your identity. The person with internal standards continues when no one is watching. He improves when praise disappears. He accepts correction without collapsing. He does not confuse neglect with worthlessness. That makes him harder to manipulate. Praise cannot easily buy him. Criticism cannot easily break him. Silence cannot easily stop him. A person who measures himself from the inside cannot be owned by outside applause. Build strategic strength without becoming cruel. Strategic strength is not bitterness. It is not coldness. It is not treating everyone as an enemy. It is not using people before they can use you. That is insecurity wearing armor. Real strategic strength is different. It means you stay ethical without being naive. You stay calm without becoming passive. You value fairness without depending on it. You trust, but slowly. You help, but with boundaries. You work hard, but also make your value visible. You care about justice but respond with evidence and action. You understand human nature without hating humanity. Build strategic strength without becoming cruel. Strategic strength is not bitterness. It is not coldness. It is not treating everyone as an enemy. It is not using people before they can use you. That is insecurity wearing armor. Real strategic strength is different. It means you stay ethical without being naive. You stay calm without becoming passive. You value fairness without depending on it. You trust, but slowly. You help, but with boundaries. You work hard, but also make your value visible. You care about justice, but respond with evidence and action. You understand human nature without hating humanity. Maybe the answer is confrontation. Maybe it is documentation. Maybe it is negotiation. Maybe it is building a new skill. Maybe it is changing your network. Maybe it is leaving. Maybe it is refusing to repeat the same mistake. Two people can experience the same unfair event. One repeats the story until it becomes identity. The other studies what happened, protects against repetition, builds alternatives, and becomes harder to exploit. The event may not have been fair, but the response still creates a different future. That is strategic strength. Not pretending pain does not exist. Not blaming yourself for everything. Not surrendering your values. It is refusing to let unfairness become the final authority over your life. Life is not always fair, but that does not mean you become helpless. Fairness matters. Justice matters. Ethics matter. But none of them should become excuses for passivity. Do not wait for the world to reward effort automatically. Make your value visible. Do not complain without movement. Turn pain into evidence, boundaries, and action. Do not confuse entitlement with competence. Build skills, reputation, and options. Do not judge people only by words. Study patterns and incentives. Do not let anger choose your timing. Respond in a way that improves your position. Do not depend entirely on applause. Build internal standards. And do not become cruel simply because reality disappointed you. The strongest person is not the one who never experiences unfairness. It is the one who can face unfairness without becoming bitter, passive, or easy to exploit. Machiavelli teaches you to see reality clearly. Discipline teaches you what to do with what you see. So ask yourself, where are you still waiting for fairness instead of building leverage? At work, in relationships, in recognition, in money, in opportunity? Write your answer in the comments, not for sympathy, for diagnosis. Remember this, fairness is a principle. Strategy is what you use when the principle is ignored. And the future belongs to people who can protect their values without surrendering their power.